Alright guys, everybody's been asking about, well not everybody, okay, but we all know in our airplanes how hot it gets, it's miserable and all that kind of crap. Well, Sporty sells those ice chests that are air conditioners, and you know, they're like 600 bucks. You can buy them 250 bucks, you can buy them I think $2.99. There's another one, Arctic Air, out there anyway. I'm the kind of guy that likes to build stuff. So I built one the other day and been wanting to do it for a long time. I just never got around to doing it. So I finally did it. Worked really well. I'll get it a little closer here to the camera. This thing puts out like 45-degree air. It lasts for about 2 hours. 28 quart. This works really good in my Cherokee. Sits in the back seat. Take the seat belts and just go through the loop. Kind of makes a safety feature so don't flop around if we get any turbulence. Inside this thing, it's pretty simple. This is a heater core out of the rear air of like a 2000, 2001, 2002 Ford Expedition. You can buy these things on eBay. This is actually a really good size. You can buy this thing on eBay for anywhere from 29 bucks to like 40 bucks. It's pretty simple. You buy an ice chest, you cut a hole in it, you put that in there, kind of press fit, right? You get yourself some clear tube. This is a bilge pump. You can get it at Walmart. I think the thing cost me like 14 bucks. Runs 12 volts. It's 2.5 amps. This is a bilge fan. This particular model, I built it with a 3-inch fan because I kind of wasn't sure if it was going to work, and you know, you kind of question yourself. You look at it and you go, shit, am I just throwing a bunch of money away or what? Come to find out, it actually works really well. So what I did was, you know, you fill this thing with ice, you put a little bit of water in it. As far as the ice goes, I found out that using block ice worked the best, and going to the store and finding block ice really isn't convenient. What is convenient, you go to the dollar store, right, and you pick yourself up some anyway, these little containers are freezer safe, right? You can fill them with water. We happen to have a spare refrigerator freezer out by the pool, so I fill these things with water, and the magic happens overnight. When I want to go flying, I take the blocks of ice, I dump them in here, add a little bit of water to it, and you know, we're set, we're chilling, right? Not really convenient to fly around with it all the time, but what we use it for, obviously, is for taxi and climb out and whatnot. Saturdays, I like to go flying with my buddies. We'll go fly around usually for an hour, so I can run the damn thing the whole time, and we stay, you know, pretty comfortable. Okay, so anyway, with that being said, everybody's kind of wondering, you know, how do you make them and all this kind of crap. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to build a 4-inch model this time because this one works so well. So enough of that crap. Let's get on with it, and we'll throw this one over here. Give you a rundown on the parts. So went to Reeves Auto Parts. I picked up a cord, right? This is a cigarette lighter cord, and we're going to take the cigarette lighter cord. It's 10 foot long. We're going to cut it off right about here. We're going to use this obviously to plug into the airplane, and this has an 8 amp fuse in it. Okay, so again, we've got a bilge pump that's running about 2.5 amps. In that 3-inch model over there, that fan's pushing out about 130 CFM, and it's running, I want to say, I think it's 2.7 amps, that one is. So you're going to need this. It's going to cost you $5.67, right? So let's throw that out of the way. You're going to need this grill. What this grill is, this is the same grill you have in your bathroom for your fan, right? When you take a big, nasty, healthy one, you turn the fan on, otherwise your wife's going to kill you. Well, you can go in there and steal this out of your bathroom, or you can run over to Home Depot and pick one of these jewels up for a grand total of $8. $6.78. That'll save your marriage. Okay, so you're going to need one of those. So we'll throw that crap out of the way. The other thing you're going to need a bilge blower. So this blower here, 4-inch blower, It's rated for 240 CFM, so it should give me a lot more air coming out of it than the other one. 12 volts DC, and it's going to run about 4.5 amps. So now we got 4.5, and we got 2.5, so we're right at our 8. The lighter in my plug has, or my airplane has a 10 amp fuse in it. So again, this is going to be trial and error. We're going to plug this thing in. We're going to actually plug it into a small battery and run it here before we ever take it out in the airplane and go flying and realize it's going to kill us and the cabin's full of smoke and now we're dead, right? So we're going to try, we build it, we run it on the ground first. I fill it with water, I fill it with ice, I plug it in, I run it. Let's just see if it's going to burn up here on the ground before it burns up in the air. Chances are I'm probably going to have to try to stick a 9 amp fuse in here, just see what it does, but we'll see what happens. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So this fan here, I got it on eBay. It cost me about $27 for this 4-inch fan. Okay. So again, we got the fan, we got the cord, we got the cover. Now we need some sort of a tube. That tube here, I went to Walmart or Home Depot and I picked this tube up. This was actually together. What this is a downspout tube. This tube here is a downspout tube for your rain gutters, right? So we measured it, it's 4 inches, right? This thing's 4 inches, so we just cut it. It gives us a nice directional tube. We can actually take this thing and bend it and do all kinds of neat stuff. This fan, when you get the fan, it's going to have a couple of little tips on here that I ground off. Those were little square things hanging out. You're going to have to grind those off. Real simple, anybody can do it. You can do it with a file. Hell, you could even do it with a hot knife if you don't have any of the tools. I was able to barely fit this over the top, you know, this rain gutter thing over the top of my fan housing. But using my handy dandy little lighter, that you got to have a little lighter because you don't want to use a big lighter. A little lighter actually works pretty good. So I just heated that up, right? Slid it over the top. And again, you need this lighter because I don't know why you need a big lighter, but it's a good one. It's a big one. So we're set. We got that going. Now the next thing we need is an ice chest. Well, right now at Walmart, you can pick these things up. That 28 quart one was $15.88. I happened to pick, this is a little bit too big. Wasn't sure if I wanted to get it, but I looked around. I couldn't find them anywhere like CVS and Walgreens. They're like 40 bucks or something. Walmart right now they're $15.88 for this one, that one, or whatever. So I figured for 15 bucks we're going to hack this sucker up. If it don't work, you know what? We'll just get, for another 15 bucks, we'll get a different size. Okay. So I was able to take. Now we're going to need. You're going to need a heater core. Okay. This heater core, I happened to get this heater core at my local auto wreckers. It's brand new. They had it in a package there. I said, hey, would you happen to have a heater core? They go, oh yeah, we got one, and this is for like a Ranger or something. God only knows what it is. So they gave it to me for 10 bucks. The downside to this one is it's a little bit bigger, right? It's a little bit bigger than the one in here. So as you can see, you should be able to see, it's a little longer, right? It's going to be a tight fit. So that's why I decided to go with the bigger ice chest. And like I said, if this thing don't work, it's only 15 bucks, right? So we'll figure it out. So picked up this heater core. There's 15 bucks. You guys can do the math because I'm not very good at math. I think we've only spent like $18 total. I'm not sure. You're gonna need a little hose, right? So go to Home Depot. You can actually get the stuff at Ace by the foot, and it's only like $1 a foot or something. Okay, you're gonna need the hose. Here's our little bilge pump, and it comes in that handy dandy package that you can't ever get in there, right? From Walmart, 14 bucks for this. So far I think we've spent about $19 on this whole pile, okay? So you take your bilge pump out. See, this is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to work this hard. So you take the bilge pump out of the package. Boom. We're set. Now the next thing we have to do, we got to cut. We got to make holes in this thing for our units, right? So what I did, just kind of lay this on top, and you go, you know what? That might work. you know, you can play with it. Obviously the hoses, if I bring the hoses over here, I like to run the heat exchanger, the heater core on this side. I can put the fan over here, then I'll have my return hoses there, right? So again, this isn't rocket science. This is really simple. You guys can make one yourself. I wanted to build one for years and never did. But finally we went for a little ride the other day and it was really hot and I thought, you know, this is stupid. I'm going to build one and we'll see what happens. So we take a pencil, right? You just trace that out on there, okay? Open it up, make sure that, yeah, it's going to be cut somewhere in here. So again, we're going to set this back up where it's going to mount. We're going to come over here. We're not going to cut a hole in the top that big, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to kind of open this up. We're just going to kind of eyeball it, right? We're going to look at it. The lid on this one here isn't hinged, which is kind of stupid, but so we're going to take this thing here. We're just going to hold it up inside, right? And we are going to trace this out. Okay, so what we did is we went ahead and took the lid off this thing. Makes it easier to work on. We're going to lay this thing down. We're going to take our pencil, any pencil, pen, whatever. We're just going to trace this out right in here, okay? And we want to stay pretty true to these lines because we want kind of a oh, I don't know, just kind of a pressure fit. We don't want to, you know, try to have to glue this thing in or try to figure out a way to hold it in. We want to kind of be able to just drop it in this hole and just have friction hold it in. So there's our mark, right? So we're going to take a die grinder, kind of like an overgrown Dremel. Everybody probably has one. If you don't have one, they're cheap. You get them Harbor Freight, probably 15 bucks. We're going to cut this out. So again, you can probably see this, we're following these lines, right? Again, it's not rocket science. Alright, again, like I said, we're just going to take this thing and trim it out. It's not a big deal, right? So now we're going to kind of press this in, right? See how that fits? Pretty good, right? What do you expect, right? It's Walmart. So we're going to cut. Now we're going to lay this down in here. We're going to mark it. So we know that, let's see if I can show you guys this. We know that those tanks overhang here, so there's no sense in cutting the hole out that big. So what I did is I kind of just marked where the core is itself. And we're going to take, just draw a line across that. Draw a line across it. I'll show you what I'm doing here. See that? Yeah. We just drew a line there. So now we're just going to cut across, right? And cut that out. The easiest way to do that is probably mark the 4 corners. So if we mark the 4 corners this way, so we've marked the 4 corners, right? Now we just come over on this side, so we don't have to work from the inside, right? We just mark this sucker out, boom, boom, and again, it's not rocket science, so it's, you know, you can spend as much time as you want on this. I know guys that are perfectionists and they just got to do everything, you know, just totally perfect. That's great. If that's what you want to do, knock yourself out. Me, like I said, it's 15 bucks, right? If it don't work, we'll go get another one. So See what I did here? Just got to do a little fine tuning here, just a little finer cuts in there. That way. Here we are cutting this out. And remember, it's easier to cut a smaller hole than it is to cut a bigger hole and try to figure out how the hell you're going to make it smaller. Look at that. Look at that. That's what we want. We're going to take that out and draw us a hole in here. See that? We drill that hole in there. See that? See that hole? We draw it inside there. Again, the inside, we could actually take, you can't see it, but if we hold this to the light, I can actually trace it out on the inside here, right? Because I can see my pencil mark. Well, there's our hole, right? And again, remember, smaller hole is much better than a bigger hole, because you can always make that smaller hole bigger. All right, now we got our fan. We've got our heater core. Right? I think what I'm going to do, I'll do this later, I'm going to make some straps there to hold that, right? Hold that sucker up in here. So the next thing we're going to do, and the last thing we'll probably do, we're going to mount this sweet little grill here. Find our pencil, because we've got a real good mess going on now. Again, you don't want to do this at home or in the house, let's put it that way, because you do it in the house, you're going to be in trouble. Again, what I'm showing you guys, this isn't rocket science. You can make it as hard as you want, you can make it as easy as you want. I'm just showing you can build one in about an hour. Alright, so we started our screws through there, right? We want to line it up to our hole. I don't know if you guys can see this from way over there, but if you can't figure it out, then maybe building this isn't for you. I'm just going to line this sucker up right here. Look at that, doesn't that look professional? Yeah. Alright. So again, like I said, I think if I were you guys, I'd find a heater core out of an Expedition. It's a much better heater core to use for this project than this. But like I said, I got this one for $10, and you know, you kind of learn as you go, right? I'm learning the other one actually. The whole other unit is a better unit than this ice chest. I would tell you to get that Coleman instead of the Igloo. Get it down to Walmart. Find yourself the heater core out of that Expedition and run that. So we're done, really. All we have to do now, run this hose to this bilge pump, right? Run the wires from the bilge pump. You're just going to drill a hole somewhere in the top, which I'm going to put them somewhere over here next to this fan. You can see this fan's got, you know, some legs here for a bracket. Find a couple pieces of aluminum or something, bend them. Put a screw in it just to kind of hold it. Dude, this thing is in here, okay? Like I said, you want to cut that hole to where it's nice and snug, right? It's not going anywhere. But why not just put a couple little brackets in there to hold it, right? You can clean all this up to your heart's content. You can clean that up. So, now that we've got all that going, you would just throw this thing back on here, attach the hinge, right? Run your wire, cut this off. What I found on mine was over here, I actually ran a ferrite ring in here. You can buy those ferrite rings for, I think, $4 or something off of eBay. Here they are. I bought a whole pack of like 10 at one time for something. And I just looped it around here. It makes a little tiny bit of noise on my end. The people on the other end of the frequency, when I ask for radio check, they can't hear anything. I can hear a little bit of whining, just a little going on. The trade-off is this: if you're going to be cool as far as cool, or if you're going to be cool because you can hear nice and clear. I'm sure there's some of you guys out there, they're electronics engineers or whatever. You can figure out the trick to getting rid of that noise. When you do, let me know. I'd love to know what the trick is. But again, it's really minute, okay? So you would cut this end off, solder these wires to this. You're going to have your bilge pump wires coming up through here. You're going to drill a little hole, solder these up, and then just like I did over here, I just fasten them right to that leg and they're nice and stiff. To turn it on, you just plug it into your airplane. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go, this thing's built, okay, it's done. All we have to do is that, drill a little hole, feed the wires. You guys kind of figure that out, positive, negative, solder it up, do whatever you got to do. But for the most part, this is done. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go get a block of ice, throw it inside this, put a little water in there, and I'm going to stick a thermometer in there just to show you guys how cold these things get. So what we're going to do now is we got a little thermometer here. We're going to stick this in here. That's just going to give you an idea. Right now that thermometer says 85 degrees because I got the little air conditioner over here chilling. Okay. Remember I was telling you about the block of ice? Check it out. $1 at the Dollar Tree. Dollar store, whatever you want to call it. Freeze that sucker. That's the best way to do it. Block ice is going to last you longer. So you take your block ice, you have to set it inside here. I usually pop them out of this thing. I usually pop them out of the that plastic container. The other trick is you got to stick a little water in here. You got to stick at least, I don't know, a quart of water in here, because obviously without any water circulating, you're not going to get any action. But keep in mind, this thing's going to melt ice pretty fast. So you want just enough water to get the process going, and once it starts going, it's gonna, you know, this thing's just gonna take off, and like I said, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, the dude's full of shit. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, you can see it's starting to chill, right? So, all right, enough of that crap. Let's turn this one off, because you're probably thinking, yeah, he wasted our time, he built this contraption, never even got to see it work. So somehow we're going to take the contents out of this one. That bottle must have so bad. And let's see if I can't really make a mess here. We're going to take this block of ice, and we're going to drop it in here. And take this water, soapy water, that's weird. It must have been it must have been my soap container. That's alright. So we'll put this one on the ground. Let's see. So let's focus this camera for you guys. You know what, let's put the camera back over here. We're going to take, let's see, we're sitting right back over Wes so you can get a big picture here. Bear with me. Alright. So there it is, right? You can see all I did is I taped the heater core up there because, again, I'm probably going to glue that one in. I'll probably figure out a way to do it. So let's see how this one functions. Take our handy dandy little thermometer, we'll plug it into this one here puts out a lot more air. A lot more air. That 4-inch fan puts out a lot of air. So let's loosen this up. So now you can hear it running, you can see it running. Again, we don't have very much time building this thing, right? So let's take this. Okay, so what I did is I took that plastic, remember I had the plastic nozzle tube on there. I actually bought another one over there at Home Depot today too. This is same thing, it's like a dryer vent hose or a heater hose or whatever. This thing actually pivots around. It's kind of handy. And you can actually extend this thing out if you want. I think I'm going to run this one only because it's lighter, it's smaller, and they're cheap. They're probably $8 or $10 or something. And you get plenty of life out of them. I don't know if we can see what that is. But what we want inside this thing is, I'm going to open this up. See what you want a bunch of water, you know, surrounding the ice. Right there, you can see I just got one block, a little chunk of ice. And what you need is a bunch of ice, a little bit of water, and you want that whole chunk of ice suspended in the water. Obviously, I don't have enough water in there to cover that whole piece of ice, which obviously is not going to make the water as cold, which is why we're only showing about 60 over here, and we were showing like 55 in the smaller unit. So anyway, I'm going to piece this stuff all together and make a little video. I'll post it for you guys. And I want to see a bunch of Coleman. Look at that Coleman ice chest being sold and cut up and hacked and thrown in airplanes. See ya.